Christianity has come up with some strange divisions of the year, and we're in one of them now, Epiphany Tide. This recognizes the completion of the journey of the Magi, and they're acknowledging the divine nature of Jesus. Similarly, the Church gives dates to major events, even though we know that the actual date went unrecorded and unknown. So, for the Magi's arrival, the day set aside is the 6th of January and launches us into Epiphany Tide, which continues until Ash Wednesday when we enter Lent. But we do hear about someone having an epiphany, and occasionally we hear Eureka! They both are those times when something momentous happens, that moment when you suddenly feel that you understand or have found something very important to you. Was it the first time when you finally understood how the multiplication table works? Or the realization that all those odd feelings, irritation when conversations were cut short, distractions when apart, peace over a shared dinner, they were all symptoms that you were in love. Or it could be, after working for months on a new theory, you have a great breakthrough. Or the writer's block cracks and the long-sought ending emerges whole and perfect in your mind, ready for the editor's desk. Epiphanies are the high point of discovery, whether personal or professional. But they are something that tends to come with a lot of hard work. They are the things in life that are the pinnacles of our successes, our triumphs, our aspirations. I think our whole world is teetering on the brink and needs an epiphany. For all I seem to see are problems that are multiplying, not being resolved. There's a reluctance on the international scene to take on the incredible challenges the world faces. The rising power of China, abandoning any desire to grow within any acceptance of human rights, whether the genocide of the Uyghurs, the destruction of churches, slave labor. There's Afghanistan, abandoned by the West, our allies persecuted and dying, and the land returned to medieval practices. Africa, divided by warlords and impoverished peoples. The first world into triple vaccines, while the third world cannot get the supplies to provide a single dose. So many glaring examples of our inhumanity and indifference, and no significant courage to be seen on any of these fronts from those with the power to do so. At home, I worry that we're becoming a very complacent society, lacking challenges, or refusing to take challenges up. We have cocooned ourselves in the protective wrapping of COVID's demands and retreated to our electronic world where we compete against a machine or scroll through endless reruns or launch attacks on those with whom we differ. I watch the politicians of all parties in so many countries sink into an apathy that involves attacking others and extolling impossible solutions, intent on re-election, not on making the world work for everyone. I see dreams smashed and lives laid barren by our retreats from our neighbors' stores and restaurants. I see the theaters closed and the teams shut down, and I wonder whether we will ever be free again to live and laugh and share good times together. A major change in headspace is needed. We're sinking into the easy and avoiding the difficult. We're accepting mediocre leadership rather than rising up and finding worthy candidates who will dare to be different. We need leaders who will not merely adopt the latest cause and parrot the politically correct response until it falls out of favor. We need media that presents all sides of issues. We need to hear the other side of the contentious, indeed all the perspectives. We need to get our brains back into gear and demand the same of those we know and those we elect. We have become too sheep-like, blindly following the lead ewe, corralled by the dogs and blindly obedient to the destiny laid out for us by the master. We may not be able to do everything that we used to do, but we can do a lot more than most of us are doing. If mental health has become such a large issue, it's largely because we're cutting people off and prioritizing avoiding COVID over all other considerations. Once again, our seniors are imprisoned in their residences. And as a senior, I know that I would far rather risk infection and death than being kept from the outside world and those I love. Each and every one of us needs to take up a challenge, a specific challenge that commits us to be more and do more. Start by looking at your particular skill set, what you like to do, what you do well, what you can use or enhance or empower. It might be as simple as starting a book club for people who have never belonged to one and get them reading. It could be joining a political party that represents the kind of changes you believe are needed, and then working as a volunteer or joining their policy committee or fundraiser or knocking on doors, but doing something. It could be studying up on a cause you believe in and then committing yourself to a weekly letter to an editor or a politician or a call to a phone-in show to promote the changes you believe are necessary. Be the squeaky wheel. We need to have the courage of our convictions to act. But first, we need to convince ourselves. And too often we leave that part out. Our gut may feel that something is right or wrong, but do we feel that way because it is the in thing, or because we've examined the issue and know that the evidence is on our side? Following the mob is challenging. Like lemmings, it can take you over the cliff, or left behind as the latest cause grabs their attention and new slogans hyped, new signs produced, and new targets picketed. You need to be true to you and act for what you know is right. Apathy and doing nothing beyond sneering at an opposing view or nodding apathetically in agreement does not count. Things that aren't worth fighting for aren't worth having, and that's a pretty good measure of where you want to invest your energies, monies, and time. This isn't about making you a better or happier person, although that may well result. This is about making the world a better place because you can, and you owe it. Is it the environment that gets you excited? Then sit down and make a list of changes you believe will work, and then explore the evidence and pick a group or a leader that you can follow, or start your own movement. But get out and do it. Live your commitment so others will see and believe. Are human rights your cause? Then look at the label of every product you buy. Is it from China? Do you approve of their treatment of minorities, of religions, of Hong Kong or Taiwan or Tibet? If you buy it, you are saving a few pennies for yourself, but is it worth more than your alleged commitment to human rights? Living by your beliefs can cost you in a variety of ways. Self-sufficiency may be your thing and lead you to planting a garden in your backyard. That's good. But how about finding a neighborhood that would really benefit from a regular supply of healthy food and organizing a team there and negotiate with their landlord for space and then go after local suppliers for seeds and the city for compost and home supplies for fencing and get everyone enthused and working at it? As Christmas passed, so did Archbishop Desmond Tutu, one of the great men of our church, who identified the villainies of apartheid and brought the world to his way of thinking. He faced opposition, he faced humiliation and death threats and unpopularity, but he persisted and went on to champion other human rights issues, both within and without the church, from women priests to the recognition of equality for the gay community. Tutu did what he did not for personal aggrandizement, but because it was the right thing to do. And that is where we should all be heading. Forget popularity or fortune and concentrate on doing the right thing, just because it is the right thing. Stand up for what you believe in by doing something to make it happen, or make it better, or convert others to the cause. For this season of cold and isolation, I challenge you to explore the depths of what you have to offer. Seek out the necessary knowledge to launch a project. Learn the skills or invent what is necessary. Start a new business and employ others and teach and share. Make new friends who share your passions and working together accomplish even more. Write a song or master an instrument to inform through entertainment. Write a book to inspire disciples. Discover who you are. Explore your talents. Do not waste what you are. Enhance what you have to the benefit of others. Let your epiphany be unveiling the real you who lies hidden within. Dare and do. And best of all is the epiphany that each of us will someday reach when we realize and accept deep down within that our faith is true and our dreams attainable. May we all reach those epiphanies which demonstrate courage over knavery, wisdom over foolhardiness, and love over hatred. For that is what the world needs from us. So may it be. Amen. Failure should not be the guiding star for anyone. Let the light of truth and compassion guide you to do and be the great things possible on your horizon. No more delays. The time for doing is now.